Brought to you by Puffin.
Journeys of Empire by Sathnam Sanghera. Read by Sid Sagar. Introduction. Think of something really, really big, and I bet that the British Empire was bigger. Russia? Not a bad place to start. It's the largest country in the modern world. It covers a staggering 6.3 million square miles and about 11% of the world's land surface. But no, it isn't bigger than the British Empire was. The British Empire covered nearly 14 million square miles, or a quarter of the planet's land surface, at its height in 1923. This is more than twice the area that Russia covers today. What about Pluto? I assume you mean the dwarf planet rather than the cartoon dog? Funny you should suggest it, because Pluto's surface area is roughly the same size as Russia. So again, the British Empire, when it reached its height on Saturday the 29th of September 1923, was more than twice as big as this entire dwarf planet. The moon? Okay, you might have got me there, but only just. The surface area of the moon is about 14.6 million square miles, which is slightly bigger than the British Empire at its height, but only just. And if you counted all the countries that had ever been part of the British Empire, it would cover a larger area than the surface of the moon. In fact, the British Empire was involved with countries beginning with nearly every letter of the alphabet. The British Empire was massive. Bigger than a Big Mac, bigger than Big Ben and Bigfoot, bigger than the notorious B.I.G. By 1923, 460 million people were living in the British Empire, or 1/5 of the world's population at the time, and, covering some 14 million square miles, it was 150 times the size of Great Britain. Let's face it. The British Empire is the biggest thing we ever did as a country, bigger than winning both world wars, bigger than winning any number of World Cups in any number of sports, bigger than inventing James Bond, Harry Potter, Paddington Bear, Peppa Pig, and the Lord of the Rings combined. Yet we don't talk about it much. It only gets a small mention on the national curriculum, which guides schools on what to teach. And there aren't many films and novels that tell us the story of the British Empire, compared to all the films that have been made about the First and Second World War, and approximately 27 James Bond films, 11 Harry Potter films, 6 Lord of the Rings films, 4 Peppa Pig films, and 3 Paddington Bear films. You might be thinking, I get it. The Empire was big and sounds pretty impressive, but what was it exactly, and why should we be talking about it? Well, an empire is a collection of nations under the control of another nation or government. Usually, the more nations you invade and conquer and colonize, meaning taking over a place to control it, the more powerful you become. Many leaders throughout history have wanted to create an empire. The Roman Empire, which started in 27 BC and lasted for approximately 500 years, was one of the best known. During this time, the Romans conquered Britain and many other regions in Europe and beyond. Most people agree that Britain's empire started in about 1600, when Elizabeth I ruled. At the time, Britain ruled over a large portion of Ireland, and lots of seafaring explorers became interested in visiting other countries in search of valuable goods and materials. Britain's empire lasted for some 400 years, and other European nations, including France, Portugal, Spain, and the Netherlands, also known as Holland, too had empires around the same time. However, Britain's empire was the largest in history. It was 7 times larger than the powerful Roman Empire.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?